Hello everybody, my name is Zen and welcome back to my mini-series that I'm doing on returning to Diablo Immortal after having not played the game since launch. In the previous installment of this series, I talked about why I stopped playing at launch, which mostly had to do with being too busy and then getting super burned by the community and the aggressive monetization of the game at launch, and just being unable to essentially play due to my business taking off and having absolutely no time to commit to it. But I returned to the game, and if you want to hear about that whole experience, I'll link to it in the description and also put it as a card on the screen so you can jump to that video if you want to, and then return to this one if you're interested in why I had left. Now, when it comes to returning to the game, I hadn't even reached level 60 the last time we talked. But I now have, and I've completed the final act of the game, which no spoilers. I'm going to briefly talk about it, but I'm not going to do any story spoilers. And we've done a little bit of max level activities, and we're going to talk about that in this particular episode. But let's talk about that final act, because I feel like I was really looking forward to it, to going to hell in Diablo and having some fun with demons and just killing a bunch of demons and doing the whole like normal dark Diablo thing. And I don't necessarily feel like that final act in Immortal lived up to my expectations. It wasn't bad, and it certainly had content that I could do that I was enjoying, but I don't think the story was very compelling, and the stuff that I could do in that particular zone was also, it felt very repetitive. There were some cool moments regarding angels and demons and whatnot, but even the final boss fight just kind of felt like a rehashed version of Diablo from Diablo 3. And I was kind of expecting something a little bit more grandiose, and we didn't get that, but I think that's totally fine. It's just I was disappointed in the final act. Am I going to do it anytime soon again? Probably not. I may level another character eventually down the line, but at the moment I'm enjoying my monk. So that is where we're at with that. But I did hit 60 shortly thereafter, or before. I don't quite remember where it was, because there was this XP boost going on. I'll talk about that in just a moment. And yeah, I hit 60 and then started gaining Paragon points, and then started doing the daily activities after, the campaign was completed. So that's going to be the primary focus of this, is how does that work coming back? How am I feeling about that progression, the early end game progression? And, in future episodes, we'll talk about how that ends up working out over the long term. But in this particular one, we're just going to talk about like initial thoughts after having hit 60 and gotten about 25 Paragon levels. So let's talk about the new player experience when it comes to returning to the game. So if I open up the codex, there's a bunch of things here that you can look at that are all just things that you can do. And you know what? If you're playing from 1 to 60, you get used to some of this stuff, like seeing the guide and completing some of this, or going to the achievements and seeing the player achievements and whatnot, or the exploration stuff like that. That stuff is normal to see as you're leveling up, and you get used to it. But as a returning player, having just tabs on tabs on tabs of stuff where you level up, or maybe you can get an item and you just got like notifications everywhere. Like I got a warband notification I can't get rid of, and I got 2 event notifications I can't seem to get rid of, and it's just everywhere on your screen as when you're playing, especially when you get back, and you just feel a little too overwhelmed. However, there are some cool things here. So the first is the Return to Sanctuary event. This happens if you're returning to the game, obviously, as it's in the name, and it lasts a specific amount of time. But in this case, I got 18 days and 3 hours remaining. So this is the overview of it. So adventurers, which is a term for a player who is neither an immortal or a shadow. Okay, so basically, it's an event that you could do when you get back into the game, because more than likely you're not going to have been in the shadows for very long, or joining the immortals. Like when you return to the game, you're not going to be participating in that PvP stuff like right away. So it's just going to be like, hey, here's a bunch of stuff that you can do. So adventurers, by the way, I don't even know, because this is a term that is used in the game. I don't even know if it's just saying that players in general or just specifically adventurers. Whoever returned to Sanctuary will receive tasks and rewards to help them get back into the battle. Perfect. Like that. I really like that. They're like, hey, you logged in. Here's this event. Go and get this stuff. So return rewards. I'll talk about that in a second. We get double battle pass points. Again, talk about that. Return tasks, daily rewards, and party buffs. So party buff here is going to be the thing that I look at before heading to the other stuff. It says for the first 7 days after returning, adventurers who are in a party will be able to share 5% boost Share a 5% boost to chance to find, that's a weird way to write that, to find magic items with their party members. Needs a bit of a copy edit there. So this is how it works. You have these daily tasks. So day 1, you log in, you get a bunch of tasks. I haven't completed any but one of these on day 1. So defeat 20 monsters in Ashwold, defeat 2 elite monsters, complete the Mad King's Breach, which is a dungeon. And you get XP and whatnot for this. Then when you log in for the second day, right? Log in 2 days. Ooh, you get a thing. Get a bunch of stuff, actually. Get a bunch of hilts, a bunch of materials, and a bunch of gold. It's really nice. Complete 2 Elder Rifts. Like, there's all this stuff, and it keeps continuing every single day. It's really nice. Just gives you a bunch of stuff. Like this one says complete the previous bounty task, because I have not completed 4 bounties for this task to complete. But as you see, it just keeps going, and eventually you get to 7, which today for me was 7, and I've got a bunch of other tasks that I have to complete. But as you complete these tasks, you gain stuff. So after completing 5 tasks, you get a legendary item, which, just as a heads up, if you're actually coming back to Immortal and you get that, you're going to open your inventory, you're going to be like, where's my legendary when you get it? That's because it goes into this slot over here, this little bag slot, and it will be down here, and you have to actually like click on it and open it. It's kind of annoying. I didn't notice that until after I had accumulated 3 of these. I was like, where are these legendaries going? I don't understand. It's not very clear. How do I even get back to that? It's events, right? There's so much UI going on here. It's a little overwhelming. So yeah, you get these. I've gotten these 2. I have 1 more that I'm about to get. When I complete 1 more task, I'm at 16 out of 25. You get one at 17 and then another one at 25. I really like this system. It encourages you to do some things, and it puts you in the right direction. It's like, hey, maybe you recently returned and you stopped early on. Well, you're going to be completing this stuff fairly quickly. But if you're doing like bounties or getting monstrous essences, like that kind of stuff, you're going to be getting this like further on the days that you log in. And every day you log in, you're getting extra bonuses. So first is the accelerated leveling. I just used my last one today. It gives you a huge boost in XP, just like immediately. More often than not, you're just going to level as soon as you hit this button when you log in for the first day, and then every day thereafter until you complete all of them. Again, I just finished mine today. And then you get the double points for the battle points, which is for the battle pass. You get a legendary gear, as we already saw, and they have a return story. So it's got this like huge little book. You heard me, where you can read all this and get a little bit of information. It's kind of nice. So you got the tasks and the bonuses, and that is the big thing with that. Let's quickly jump over to the battle pass just to show. Goodness, where's even the battle pass thing? It's not under, it's under Codex. It's here. Okay, I found it. So by getting battle pass points, you're gonna be leveling this up, which means every single time I go from like 8 to 9 or 9 to 10, you're gonna be getting another big boost of experience. So when you come back to the game and you're not level 60 yet, or even if you are and you want more Paragon points, you're gonna want to be filling this bar as much as possible by completing activities that give the battle pass points. So in this case, Elder Rifts are giving 2 times points, but because we get double points, we're actually getting times 4 points, which is really nice. I really like that. But as you can see, everything else is times 2 because we have that. However, the event does have a max on this. I went to the wrong one. So I have 422 battle pass points remaining on this. I fortunately started this like right at the start of a new battle pass, which means I'm not like dipping a bunch of points into my battle pass and it's got like 2 days remaining on it. I had started, I came back before this battle pass started right at the end of the other one, and I didn't really invest too much of the battle pass points into it. So this is kind of a nice little thing to have come back to a fresh battle pass and being able to complete this. Again, we'll get to the battle pass more in a moment when I talk about the shop, because I am going to talk about the shop in this. So to tie into the leveling bonus, we also have the World Paragon stuff to talk about. So the World Paragon is essentially a max level of Paragon that the server can be at. So it goes up every day. Today it happens to be 472. Tomorrow it's going to be a little higher than that. The next day it's going to be a little higher than that. It's going to continuously go up and up and up over time. Because we are not within a certain range of the maximum, we're gaining 800% extra experience points in order to level up our Paragon, which sounds crazy. It's like 800%. That sounds amazing. It's not as much as you might think. You're going to be gaining Paragon points fairly quickly, but I'm only level 23 and I've been doing quite a lot. I was expecting this to go up way faster. And the fact that the Paragon cap or Paragon level today is 472, and I might have gained 3 Paragon levels today. It's like, yeah, over the course of the next year, if I continue playing at the pace that I'm at, I might catch up. I mean, eventually I will catch up if I just keep playing. That's the beauty of the system. But I feel like there needs to be an extra XP reward if you're this far away. Like if you're more than 100 Paragon levels away, it should be like quadruple this. So that way you just get a bunch of XP, because this feels unattainable at my current pace. I just don't have the time to no life the game. It feels unobtainable to get to 472. Do I even intend on planning to play, more than over the next couple months until Diablo 4 comes out? I don't know. I don't know. I haven't decided that yet. But you'll start getting an indication of where I'm leaning by the end of this video. So the World Paragon cap is an interesting thing. You're seeing it in effect. I'm getting the 800% increase XP. It's kind of nice, but at the same time, feels unobtainable. What does feel obtainable, though, is completing activities. So if I go to the activities here under the codex, like this new daily activity reward thing that they've had up, I don't know when they put this in. It wasn't at launch. This feels really nice because you're gaining extra bonuses. It's mostly just the platinum, and this one is a relic, and then this one is hilts, which is not bad to get. But this, getting extra rewards for completing battle pass points is really nice. And then, of course, when you complete all 3, so if you complete 3 dungeons and you've claimed 3 rewards, or you complete 3 dungeons, you can claim a reward of a free set item, which is nice because you get set items from doing the dungeons. They drop from specific dungeons, specific ones do, so you can kind of farm for them. However, it is nice to just be like, all right, I've done 3, maybe I got unlucky, and now let's get a free set item. It's kind of nice. It's a really nice little thing. But when you log in every day, this featured activity is going to be different. And I like that because it changes it up a bit. I could go do bounties in the Legacy of the Paragon, which I did do today. Cavern of Echoes, a dungeon, a battleground, Pit of Anguish. I could do bestiary stuff. I could do all of this stuff. But look how many freaking activities there are, man. There's so much stuff I could go do. And I don't have to. If I could no life the game, if I wanted to no life the game, I could go do all of this. I could just go get a bunch of battle pass points, trying to fill out my battle pass and leveling up. But because I don't have the time, you know what I focus on? Well, this one right here. I rarely ever go underneath this. So yesterday it was bounties. Today it was Elder Rifts. And I just run them and get a bunch of points, and it gets me boosted up. So it's nice to have the activities. I basically fulfill the quest without really even thinking about it. Like, this is complete 6 Elder Rifts. I'll get another 40 battle pass points, but I have to do 5 more. So I may as well just do the 6th anyways to get the quest done. Right. So you kind of see like they go hand in hand when you start looking at them. Not even going to look at that tab, but as far as all of this, like, I think the player achievement stuff is just okay to have. It's nice, whatever. It's there. You get some bonuses from completing it. You're rarely ever going to focus on this. It's just going to pop up every now and again as a notification. You're going to go and complete it. The thing I do like, though, is that they've added this hero's journey, which as a returning player, I think is a really nice pointing of direction. So you log in, you may see this, and it's going to give you a bunch of stuff to complete chapter 1 of this hero's journey, which is kind of like a seasonal journey in Diablo 3. where it shows you all this stuff you can do. Like I spent a Paragon point. I socketed 6 legendary gems. Like all this stuff is obtainable and doable. Or participate in a battleground. I only have to do it once. Just try it out. Just try it out. See if I like it, right? I don't have to do it again. I just got to try it out once. Complete 20 Elder Rifts. There's zone events, the bestiary. Like there's a bunch of stuff here to do. And then when you fill it out, you gain some hilts. You gain some crests. You gain gold. And you gain some keys, which is nice. And then if you do chapter 2, again, you get kind of all the same thing, but you get to chapter 3, you get a legendary crest, which is really nice. And then if you complete chapter 4, you get a portrait frame. So there's like, you know, rewards for completing this stuff. It gives you goals to work towards over time. I don't have to do this all in one day. I can work over this, you know, over the course of weeks if I wanted to, or take my time with it, or just blast through it. I like that. It is quite nice. So between the activities, between that and the event for the new players, if I go back to the events, I'll talk about the other events in just a second. But the Return to Sanctuary, being able to complete this, it gives you a nice direction. And I like that as a new player returning to the game, because it's like, what the hell do I do? There's a bunch of crap to do. There's a lot of crap to do. Where do I even focus my attention? What's worth it? The game kind of points you in the right direction and says, hey, we'll reward you for doing these things. Just go have fun with them. I like that. I think that has been a positive experience and has been the thing that's actually continued to keep me logging in over the last 7 days and playing here and there is just it's just jumping in and completing this stuff. And to be perfectly honest, and probably TMI, a lot of this has happened during bathroom breaks where I log in, I complete a task or two. And it's really nice. It's like I said, it gives me something that I feel like I can do without having to sit down for hours at a time. So that's nice. The final thing on this, though, is that there are events going on in the game. They've been doing these pretty progressive over the last few months, it seems like, or I see new stuff popping up on like Twitter or their announcements for new events. So like this one, you get these bags that you can contribute. You contribute them into this like progress. You get battle pass points when you contribute certain amounts. And then if you contribute, so in this case, if I contribute 88, I'm pretty close, I'll get a free legendary item. It's kind of nice. So this is stuff that you're just gaining by killing monsters. You don't even have to look for it. So it's just like a passive effect going on. However, there is a daily login thing. So if you log in on specific days, so on last Wednesday, it was a gem. On Saturday, it was a legendary crest and an emote. On Sunday, which was today, I logged in. I got mystery legendary and a divine frame, which is kind of cool. But heck, when I log in next Sunday, I'm going to get a set item. And then the Wednesday after that, there's a pearl. There's some keys coming up, and there's a legendary crest coming up on the 5th, which is nice. So like, there's all of this cool little stuff that's you're just incentivizing me to log in, and I don't necessarily have to log in on Thursday and Friday, but I got to, you know, set a calendar notification being like, hey, make sure you log in on Saturday to get that legendary crest. I like that. There's a couple daily tasks here. One of them is sharing these red bags with other people on your friends list. That's fine. And then there's this whole fractured plane one, which I haven't even dug into yet. Like that's just a bridge too far for me right now. That's just too much stuff to do, but it does give me a direction, and I like that quite a lot. Now let's talk about the thing that I don't really like, which is going to the shop. I don't like hitting this button, not because I don't plan on spending money. In fact, I did spend money. I got my empowered battle pass, which I said I would talk about before. So if you didn't know, you can empower your battle pass. It's like $5, which means that instead of on just getting the top rows, you're also getting the bottom rows here. It's kind of nice, actually. It's really nice. I like it. With the empowered stuff, you can get, there's one of 2 ranks. One is $5, one is $15. Obviously, I'm getting a discount because I've already got the empowered one. I think the empowered battle pass, if you plan on playing and getting that stuff on the bottom, is actually quite nice. And if you get to 40, you get a cool set out of it, which, you know, is fine. If I can actually see the set, is it wait? Yeah, I can view it. So it looks cool. I mean, like the cosmetics in this game are freaking amazing. I really like this for the battle pass thing. So I plan on finishing this battle pass out, but the empowered battle pass totally wasn't worth it. Why? Well, because it boosts you up to 10 on the battle pass, which honestly I don't care about. I plan on finishing it. So why do I need to be boosting up to 10 unless my time is that limited? You also get a portal which is kind of cool. So when you town portal, it looks like that. I like that. It's pretty rad. And then a portrait frame, which I don't care too much about. So this was not worth it for me. And my recommendation is that this is probably not worth it for most people for $15, but for $5, yeah, it's absolutely worth the amount of extra stuff that you get out of the battle pass. But when I go to the store, I don't feel good about it because I feel like I'm being swindled. I feel like I'm being swindled. Like look at this bundle here, the Moonlight Trove. You get 20 legendary crests, a 5-star legendary gem, which is really good to get, a 5-star gem. You get 48 keys and 48 gems for $50. You know what I could do for $50? I can go pre-order The Last of Us on PC. I could go buy God of War on PC on sale for like $25. I could go buy, I don't know, Cyberpunk when it's on sale for $20. I could buy 2 games that are going to take me over 100 hours to play if I really wanted to. If I wanted to get like Cyberpunk and I don't know, No Man's Sky for the total of $50 while they're on sale, and get more value out of that than 20 legendary crests and a 5-star gem. This does not feel like, it says 100% extra value. What does that even mean? You know what that tells me? That tells me that I'm trying to be swindled, and I don't like that. When you get a sniff, you know, you're a purchaser, you're a person who's trying to consume a product, and you get a sniff that you're being swindled, it doesn't leave a good taste in your mouth, and that's what this shop does. It doesn't leave a good taste in my mouth. I look at this and I go, ooh, this is icky. It feels icky. I don't like this. And, you know, it's fine if I feel like I'm getting a deal. Isn't that funny how that works? If I feel like I'm getting a deal, I will absolutely buy something. So here's a good example. I run my own business. I 3D print miniatures and I send them off. I do it through Etsy. It's really fun. Actually, it's a lot of work, but it is really fun. Well, I'm about to get a new license for different types of miniatures, and I am getting ready to make that license purchase. It's $100, but I'm basically getting it's $100 a month, but it's I'm getting 2 like massive things of both fantasy and sci-fi miniatures every month to put on my shop. So it actually works because I make like 1 or 2 orders off of that, depending on how much somebody orders, and I'm like far exceeding what I paid for the license, right? Now, here's the thing. In preparation for that, I noticed that that particular creator was doing a 50% off sale for all of their previous stuff. So I'm like, man, I'm getting a deal out of this. Even though I don't need to, I go and I purchase a bunch of their old stuff knowing that I'm going to put it on my shop. I don't feel like I'm getting swindled by buying this old stuff, even though I don't need it. I'm just choosing to get it because I feel like I'm getting a deal. I have another great example, which involves house shopping. But basically, if you feel like you're going to get a deal on either renting a place or buying a place, you'll often feel like you should go for it. Like, oh man, I'm about to get a deal on this. Oh, someone else might jump on this. Someone else might buy this house. I should go get this thing. So you make the purchase. But here, I don't feel like I'm getting a deal. I feel like I'm being just ripped off. And that's a bad, bad feeling. Same thing goes with crests, legendary crests. I didn't really jive with it when the game first launched, and even now I'm like, I just don't like it. They have these limited time bundles. Obviously they're limited in time, and those don't feel great. The bundles in general are okay. I never really feel like I should be purchasing these at all. And then here's the kicker, the cosmetics. This cosmetic set, this one, not the collector set. The collector set comes with a portal. The standard set, I don't even like the look of this, and it costs 1,000 of these orbs. How much does 1,000 cost? So 650 is $10. So let's say we spend $25 in order to have enough, because the way they break down currencies, it's predatory, but it's what a lot of people do. Whatever. I'm not going to even talk about that. Let's just say I spent $25 on this. Do I really want that for $25? No, I don't. Like, even Heroes of the Storm had better cosmetics for less money. So, like, are any of these good? I don't really like the bug thing. It's not my thing. That's kind of okay, but I hate that mask. And this one is probably the one I like the most, but I don't like the crown. That's pretty okay. And then this one actually is my favorite one out of all these cosmetic sets. Same issue, collector set for it, $1,500. I'm spending $25 to look like a monk. Not a great sell. I'll tell you what, not a great sell, especially considering if you look at this battle pass set. Let's go to it real quick. This looks rad. I really like this, and all of the battle pass ones that they've released lately have been really cool. And I'm spending $5 for this. So like, it doesn't make any sense. I just feel like I'm getting swindled. So that's kind of where I'm at the moment in this game. Is I'm enjoying the gameplay. I'm having a lot of fun just running around and doing my daily things, my daily stuff, whether it be Elder Rifts or challenge rifts or going and doing bounties or, you know, trying to go do the Heliquary bosses and stuff like that. I'm having fun just logging in every day for at the maximum an hour and just having fun doing these little events here and there. But then I have something pop up on my screen being like, hey, did you see this new bundle? And I go and look at it. I'm like, why would I ever spend money on that? That doesn't feel valuable. I don't feel like I'm getting a deal. I don't feel like I'm getting one up on the company, which would make me feel like I need to purchase it. Like, oh man, this is a really good deal. It's got, you know, it's got 14 days left. Ooh, I should really consider it because like I'm about to lose out on this deal. You want that feeling, right? Well, I mean, you don't, because it's going to make you spend money. But, you know, as a consumer, actually, as a company trying to sell to somebody, you want that feeling on your consumers. You want them to feel like they're getting a deal. You don't want them to feel like they're being absolutely ripped off, because that gives a really nasty taste in my mouth and goes, ooh, did I even really want to spend the $5 on that Empowered Battle Pass? Because is that just encouraging the problem? But that's where I'm at. I think that's the best way to describe it. I'm having fun with the game, and then I get like slapped in the face when I go into the shop. I'm like, ugh, I don't like that. And so I've just not been opening the shop. That's it. That's how I've solved this issue. So I'm looking forward to playing more, jumping into more endgame activities, getting past Hell 1, which is, you know, the difficulty that you essentially get at once you hit 60, and then seeing what some of these activities are, seeing what these other events are, and then I'll share my thoughts then. And then my thoughts on the shop and how the game is monetized will definitely be quite a bit more ingrained, I think. But let me know in the comments if you're returning to the game. Have you returned to the game? What are your thoughts so far? Do they line up with mine, or do you disagree with me? Do you not like the game at all? Like, I'm really curious about this stuff to get everybody's perspective. I read every single comment, and I love seeing what people's thoughts are on the game. Do I feel like it's worth it to go and play? Yeah, it's a free game. Go download it and play it. You can play it on PC, or you can play it on your phone or tablet or whatever. It's fun for free. Like, I've had a couple people asking like, oh, is it worth it to get back into it? I'm like, you got to decide that. It's free. I can't be like, yes, it's worth $60 to go. No, you got to decide what you're going to do with the game, because it's a free buy-in. And then if you want to spend money after that, that's totally up to you. Determined, you know, on how worth it do you feel like the game actually is. If you like this video, hit the like button, of course, so it sends it to more people, so we can beat that stupid YouTube algorithm boss. And of course, if you haven't subscribed, I'm doing more of these videos. I'm gonna keep going, and then we're gonna hit Diablo 4, and it's gonna be Diablo 4 City up in here, and I cannot wait, because I love that game. With all that being said, thank you very much for watching, and we shall see you all next time.